Good evening. Welcome to the ICSE class 10 maths tutorial. Today's topic is reflection. Reflection. Mirror image. Suppose this is a plane mirror. An object we are placing here in front of the plane mirror. O is an object in front of this plane mirror. Alright, the image of this object will be formed at I. So I is the image. Now the distance, this distance, if we call this as M. So OM, this distance, OM, this distance, OM is equal to IM. Alright? Fine. And the image of the object O is formed in the line, you can call it in the line mm dash. In the line mm dash with respect to the plane mirror mm dash. Alright. So this distance is equal to this distance. This is called reflection. Reflection of the point. This is what? This idea only we are going to use in this chapter. Alright. And you know this is an experiment that we have done in our 9th standard, ICSE 9th standard. What was it? The experiment. The image of an object. The image of an object placed in front of a plane mirror is as far behind the mirror as the object from the mirror. Alright, so we are going to study reflection, mirror image. Alright, now before we start, let me tell you once again. Is this clear? This is the mirror. Mm dash is the mirror. O is the object. The image of the object is formed behind the mirror. Now this distance, the distance of the image from the mirror is equal to the distance of the object from the mirror. Alright? Clear? Fine. Now let me tell you once again about the coordinate axis and the different coordinate planes. You know this. Already you know, so I am not going into detail. X-axis, Y-axis, these are the 4 quadrants. First quadrant we start from this. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant both X and Y positive. Here minus plus, here minus minus, and here X is plus, Y is minus. So when because you should know how to locate how to locate a point in the Cartesian plane. Alright. So now you know how to plot a point. How to locate a point in the Cartesian plane. You can see my video. There is a video on this. 9th standard. Alright. Now see, one more thing you see. Now see, suppose you have to plot a point P12 in this Cartesian plane, P12. So what does it mean? X is equal to 1 and Y is equal to 2. So where is X is equal to 1? This is X is equal to 1. And Y is 2. Where is Y is 2? Here is Y is 2. This is Y2. So Y, X1 and Y2, the point is here. Correct? This point. This is the point, X is equal to 1 and Y is equal to 2. So P is the point, this point is P12. So like that, because the knowledge of plotting a point in the Cartesian plane is very, very important, because that is only we are going to do. How to plot a point. Only plotting, nothing else. Little bit more. Alright? So plotting is more important. Yes, of course, we are going to learn something more, but plotting is important. One should know how to plot a point in the Cartesian plane. Alright. And then we will find out the image. So there also again you should know how to plot a point. If it is 1, 2, so what is the position of the point? If it is minus 1, 2, then what is the position of the point? Where will the point, in which quadrant will the point lie? If the point is suppose minus 1, minus 2, so in which quadrant will the point lie? Alright, or if the point is suppose 1, 0, so where is it? Alright, fine. Now one more thing you see. Here in this figure, I am trying to let me tell you one, let me give you one more example. Now if I tell you, suppose xx dash is the mirror, we are placing a mirror here, alright, and we want to see the image of this point P. This is the point P, alright, this is the point P, and here we are placing a plane mirror, alright. So the image will be formed here somewhere, isn't it? Of course, this distance and this distance both will be the same. That means if this is 2, if this is 2, this will also be 2, isn't it? Isn't it? So point will be somewhere here, mirror image. Point will be, and we call the mirror image as P dash. P dash. So P dash will be somewhere here. This distance, if this is 2, this will also be 2. Alright, fine. Because it is up, we are moving along the y-axis in the upward direction above x-axis. So this y will be plus 2. So of course x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2. But here x will be 1 and y will be minus 2. Because we are now in the, we are below the x-axis. We are below the x-axis. So below the x-axis, if we move along the y-axis, y will be negative. See, I have written minus 1, minus 2 like that. Fine? This is not minus 2. This is minus 2. This is minus 1. Let me correct. This is minus 2. This is minus 2. This is minus 1. Alright? Minus 1, minus 2 and so on. Fine. Either you understand like this, or please remember that plus plus, minus minus, plus minus. So because the point is lying in the fourth quadrant, its coordinate will be in the form plus minus. Plus plus, here it is plus plus, both plus, then minus plus, then minus minus, and here it is plus minus. Right. So anyway, either like this way or like that way, you can understand. So, so now because our point, the image of the point P, which is P dash, is in the fourth quadrant, so it will have plus and minus, and now it is plus, x is plus because we are moving along the positive direction of x-axis from O to the right. And y is negative because we are going down. We are going down below x-axis. So this is negative. Alright. So either you understand like that or you understand like this. Fine. Now you know, once again I told you how to plot a point and what's the meaning of the mirror image of a point with respect to a line. In the line. So for example, here's once again I am repeating the mirror image of the point P in the x-axis is P dash, and the coordinates will be now x will remain the same and y will change. So that means P dash will be how much? P dash will be, x will remain 1 and y will be minus 2. Now see here, look at it. There is a point Pxy. We are finding out the reflection of the point Pxy in the x-axis. So this is how we write. M is mirror image of the point Pxy in the x-axis with respect to x-axis. Then what happens if the image of the point P is P dash? Then what are the coordinates? X remains the same, y changes, y becomes from y to minus y, the sign changes. That is what you saw here. In the x-axis, now see, the coordinates of the point P are 1 and 2. 1, 2, this point. This is 1, 2. Alright, 1, 2. And the image of this point P, which is P dash, the coordinates are 1 and minus 2. That means x remains the same. X is 1 and y is 2. Alright, so x remains the same, y changes. And logic you can understand. Why does y change? Y changes because now we are below the x-axis. Understand the logic, mathematics. If you don't understand, then you please remember the mirror image of the point pxy in the x-axis is equal to p dash x comma minus y. That is, x remains the same and y changes. Y becomes minus y. Either you remember like that, or if you understand the logic also, why this y is becoming minus y. The reason is here, because now p dash is in the fourth quadrant, below x-axis, and below x-axis y is negative. So of course the distance is 2 only, because that's the fact. The distance of the object from the mirror is equal to the distance of the image from the mirror. Alright. So this distance is same, but one is above the x-axis, so y is positive, one is below the x-axis, so y is negative. Alright. So and x is 1. So x equal to 1, y equal to 2, and here x is equal to 1. Say this is 1. Like see this point. X is equal to 1 and y is equal to minus 2, because now we are below the x-axis. Alright, that is why y is minus 2. Got it? Fine. Now the second formula is, this is the first formula. Once again I am reading. Mirror image of the point pxy in the x-axis is equal to p dash x comma minus y. Now mirror image of the point pxy in the y-axis. Now the point is reflected in the y-axis. So y will remain the same and x changes. X becomes minus x. Now see, look at it. In the y-axis. Alright, now this point P is reflected in the y-axis. Yeah, that means so mirror is here. Alright, so this distance and the distance of the image, if this is P dash, will be the same. Alright. So this is your point. Got it? This is the point. This point. This is the image of the point P. When the point P is reflected in the y-axis, because now y dash is the mirror, no? So this distance should be equal to this distance. Alright. So in this side, to the right of the origin x is plus 1, and to the left of the origin x is minus 1. So x is minus 1, but y remains the same. So x changes and y remains the same. So now the coordinates of p dash would be minus 1 and 2. X changes, y remains the same. Minus 1 and 2. So remember this formula. We'll do many more sums. You don't worry. Many more points we will plot. So if something is unclear, that will be clear there. We are going to do 2-3 questions on graph. Alright. We have 3-4 more formulas. Like the third one is reflection of the point pxy in the origin. Reflection of the point pxy in the origin. So in that case, we call it p dash, and in that case both x and y change in sign. So minus x minus y. Alright? So reflection of the point in the origin, and the point is P. Coordinates are same x, y. Alright, in the origin, and this gives you P dash minus x and minus y. Minus x minus y. Reflection of the point pxy in the origin is equal to P dash, and both changes. X becomes minus x, y becomes minus y. Alright? There are 2 more formulas. Reflection of the point P in the line x is equal to a, and reflection of the point P in the line, either you say y is equal to a or y is equal to b. Alright. So all those formulas I am showing you on the screen. Please look at the screen. Alright. So the fourth formula is reflection of the point pxy in the line x is equal to a is equal to p dash 2a minus x comma y. We read it, the image of the point pxy in the line x is equal to a. The next formula, fifth formula, is mirror image of the point pxy in the line y is equal to a is equal to p dash in bracket, circular bracket, x comma 2a minus y, bracket close. We read it, the image of the point pxy in the line y is equal to a. So y is equal to a, then x remains the same, y changes. And in fourth formula, x is equal to a, so x changes and y remains the same. See the similarity. If x is equal to a, then x changes, x becomes 2a minus x and y remains the same. And if in the line y is equal to a, then y changes, y becomes 2a minus y and x remains the same. Got it? Understood? So these are the 5 formulas, very important formulas that you please remember. Now see, one more thing I would like to tell you here, and then we will go ahead with the question. If a point P, the same thing, when the point P is reflected in the line x is equal to e or in the line y is equal to e, alright. But generally you have to do such questions on the graph, so it becomes easier. How? Look at it. Suppose your point P, there is a point P, and the coordinates, the same coordinates I have taken, 1 and 2. X is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2 in red, the point P. The coordinates are 1 and 2. Alright. Now this point P is reflected in the line x is, this is line x is equal to 2. This you will study in the coordinate geometry. X is equal to 2 is the equation of a line, is the line which is parallel to the y-axis and at a distance of 2 units from the origin. Alright, this is x is equal to 2. Please remember, this will help you in coordinate geometry. Equation of the line x is equal to a, equation of the line y is equal to b, equation of the x-axis, equation of the y-axis, etc. Can you tell me the equation of the x-axis? Y is equal to 0, because wherever you go on the x-axis, y is 0. Y you will get when you move above or below. You are on the x-axis, so y equal to 0. Therefore, equation of the x-axis is y equal to 0. And please remember, even in this chapter also, sometimes they don't tell you directly in the x-axis. They give y equal to 0, in the line y equal to 0. So you should know. Yeah, good that I told you. You should know that y is equal to 0 means x-axis. Because wherever you go on the x-axis, y is 0. Y is 0. Y is 0 here, y is 0 here, y is 0 here. Why? Because you are neither going in the upward direction nor going in the downward direction. When you move up, above or below, then only you will get y. You are on the x-axis, so y is equal to 0. That means y equal to, so please remember, y is equal to 0 is the equation of the x-axis. So if the question says that you reflect the point P is reflected in y equal to 0, that means the point is reflected in the x-axis. Alright. Similarly, for y-axis, x equal to 0. Neither we are moving along x nor we are moving along x dash. Neither towards x nor towards x dash. This is x dash. This is x dash. Alright. This is x dash. X dash. Got it? So if I say x equal to 0, that means I am talking about y-axis. So if the question says that the point is reflected in x is equal to 0, that means indirectly they are saying the point is reflected in the y-axis. X equal to 0 means y-axis. Everywhere x equal to 0, 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 x equal to 0. Everywhere x equal to 0. Because neither we are moving along OX nor we are moving along OX dash. This is O. Okay? So OX, positive x, OX dash, negative x. But we are neither moving along OX nor moving along OX dash. So we are not getting any x equal to 0. Got it? Fine. Now if suppose the point P whose coordinates I have written here 1 and 2, x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2, if this point P is reflected in the line x equal to 2, line x equal to 2 means a line which is parallel to y axis and which is at a distance of 2 units from the origin. Alright. So now apply the logic of that, the image of an object placed in front of a plane mirror is as far behind the mirror as the object in front of the mirror. So if the object is here, see, if your point P is here and this is your mirror, red line, this is your mirror image. What is this distance? How much is this? This is, it's so 2. I want this distance, we want this distance, see this distance, we want this distance. How much is this? How much is this? This is 1. This total is 2. This total is 2, but we want this from 1 to 2. From 1 to 2 is 1. This is 1. Alright. Now, red line is the mirror and your object is at a distance of 1 unit. So the image will be formed behind the mirror at a distance of 1 unit only. So that means if this is 1, so this will also be 1. This will also be 1 from here. Because the object distance is equal to the image distance from the mirror and the red line is the mirror. Okay. So reflection of the point P in the line x is equal to 2 because on the line x is equal to 2 we are placing the mirror. Alright. So from this mirror, if the point P is at a distance of 1 unit, so the point Q, which is the image of P, will also be at a distance of 1 unit from the mirror. Alright. So that means this is 1. Okay. And this will remain the same. This will remain the same. If this is 2, this will also be 2. Fine. Now, what will be the coordinates of the point Q? Coordinates we write with respect to the origin. So the x coordinate of the point Q will be 3 from here to here, total 3. Please understand, from here to here, this is 3 with respect to the origin. This is 3 and this is 2. So the coordinates of the point Q will be 3 and 2. So please understand, this is important, very important. So if a point P whose coordinates are 1 and 2 is reflected in the line x is equal to 2 and that point we are representing here by the letter capital Q. So the coordinates of the point Q, the image of the point P, you can call it P dash also. So I have written Q, okay, let it be Q. So Q, the coordinates will be 3 and 2, understand, 3 and 2, because now the point V, finally the image of the point P, which is Q, is here. Now what are the coordinates? This is x, 3, this is y, 2, so 3 and 2, please understand, this is important. And the same thing you will get if you apply the formula, fourth formula and fifth formula. 2 formulas I have given you, the same thing you will get. But most of the time, you are asked to use a graph paper. Most of the time, you are asked to use a graph paper to solve this question. So then it's so easy, no? Only you need to understand the distance. Okay, this is the object, this is the distance. Alright, so the image distance will be the same from the mirror. Got it? Understood? Hope the things are clear. Now let's write down one question. Please note down the question. Please note down the question. Are you ready? Please note down the question. I am showing you the question on the screen. Please go through it. See the question. The question is, the point PAB is reflected in the x-axis to P dash phi minus 2. Find A and B. Once again I am reading the question, listen. The point PAB is reflected in the x-axis to P dash phi minus 2. Find the values of A and B. Alright. So this is our question. Okay. The point P the point P. Alright, A and B. Okay, AB. The point PAB is reflected. The point PAB is reflected in the x-axis. The point PAB is reflected in the x-axis. The point PAB is reflected in the x-axis, and it is given that the reflection is P dash is given phi minus 2. Phi and minus 2, this is given. Alright. The point PAB is reflected in the x-axis to P dash phi minus 2. That was the question. The point PAB is reflected in the x-axis to P dash phi minus 2. Find the values of A and B. Alright. So this is given. Now by formula, according to the question, using formula, what is this M? M in the x-axis of the point whose coordinates are AB. Alright. By formula we write down reflection of the point P whose coordinates are AB in the x-axis. So x will remain the same and y will change. So P dash x will remain the same and y will change. Y will become minus. Alright. So according to the question, this and this they are same. According to the question, P dash A minus B is equal to P dash phi minus 2. So P dash A minus B is equal to P dash phi minus 2. By formula we are getting this, and they have given in the question the mirror image of the point P in the x-axis is this. That means both are same. Now compare. A is equal to phi and minus B equal to minus 2. That means B is equal to 2. So therefore A is equal to phi and B is equal to 2. A is equal to phi and B is equal to 2. This is the answer. A is equal to phi and B is equal to 2. This is the answer. So simple. Alright. Got it? Understood? I hope it's very, very clear. This is given. This we are writing by formula. But according to the question, the mirror image of this is this. By formula we are getting this. So both are same. According to the question, both are same. So A is equal to phi and minus B is equal to minus 2. So B is equal to 2. Alright. Okay. Now next question. Please note down. Next question. Next question is, yes, please see on the board. Next question. On the screen, see. Sorry, on the screen. Please see on the screen. Next question is, use a graph paper for this question. The point P2 minus 4 is reflected in the y-axis. To get Q, find the coordinates of the point Q. Second, point Q is reflected in the x-axis. To get the image R, find the coordinates of R. Third, name the figure PQR after reflection. You join. So name the figure PQR. And fourth, find the area of the figure PQR. Alright. Now, question you read. Once again, you can read the question. And now look at the solution. See, look at the figure. See on the screen. What is given? First of all, you have to, you are taking a graph paper, you are plotting, you are drawing x-axis, y-axis, show very nicely. X dash, y dash, alright. And then mark the point 1, 2, 3, 4, positive to the right, negative to the left, then upwards, then downwards, alright. And then you plot the point because they have given you the point P2 minus 4, P2 minus 4, plus minus. Now you have to decide in which quadrant. So you know plus plus, minus minus, plus minus. It is plus minus in the fourth quadrant. So now you are plotting as I have plotted. You can see the point P, because already I have explained to you in detail. So I hope you understand the point P2 minus 4 I have plotted. Now the point P2 minus 4 is reflected in the y-axis. Point P2 minus 4 is given, we plotted. Now this point is reflected in the y-axis to get Q. So of course the coordinates will be y-axis. If you understand on the graph, it is minus 2 minus 4. Otherwise, you know, when the point is reflected in the y-axis, y remains the same, y coordinates remains the same, y coordinate remains the same, and x coordinate changes. So y coordinate minus 4 will remain the same, and x will become 2 will become minus 2. Alright, so Q will be minus 2 minus 4. Okay, so point Q is, find the coordinates of the point Q. So what are the coordinates of the point Q? Q minus 2 minus 4. I have written there also, but you write down not only on the graph but also on the answer sheet, ruled page. There also you write down. Now, point Q is reflected in the x-axis. Q is reflected in the x-axis and not P. Q is reflected in the x-axis to get the image R. Q is reflected in the x-axis, so x will remain the same. Minus 2 will remain minus 2, y will change. Minus 4 will become 4. That means now the point is minus 2, 4. Minus 2, 4 means it will be in the second quadrant. Either you understand like this, or you see on the graph paper how I explained to you how the image is formed, because x-axis is the mirror. So you get the point R minus 2 and 4. Got it? So R you write down here also minus 2, 4 within this use circular bracket, and then you can write down, you should write down on the answer sheet also. Now third sub question is name the figure PQR. As you can see, join P, Q and R. You can see it is a right angled triangle. Am I right? Now the fourth sub question is find out the area of the figure PQR, which you can see. Area of the figure PQR, it's a right angle triangle. So half into base into height. So area of the figure PQR is equal to how much? It's a right angle triangle. So area of the figure, area of the figure PQR, area of the, you can write down area of the right angle triangle, area of the right angle triangle PQR, and that is equal to half into base. Base is 4. You see, just once again you can go back and see to this side. See, the figure is like this. Alright, so this is 2, this is 2 and this is 2. So total base is 4. And this is 4 and this is 4. So total this will be 8. So half into base into height. Half into base into height. Alright. So this gives you 2 to the 4. And you get 16. 16 square units. The answer you will write down 16 square units. 16 square units. 16 square units. This is important. 16 square units. Okay? Got it? Understood? Now, I hope everything is clear. I hope things are clear. Very, very clear. Fine. Once again, if you don't understand, you please go back, see the diagram again, see the points of how we have plotted the points and how the figure is formed, PQR, and the distances, the base and the altitude, the height. Now next question. Again you see on the screen, next question. The question is you see on the screen the question. I am reading the question. The question is, use the graph paper for this question. The point A 23, B 45 and C 72 are the vertices of a triangle ABC. First, write down the coordinates of A dash, B dash, C dash if A dash, B dash, C dash is the image of triangle ABC when reflected in the origin. Now the point A, B and C, first of all we have to plot. A, B and C, please plot. A is how much? 2, 3. So A I have plotted 2, 3. You can see in the figure. A, 2, 3. There is a dot also. That is the point A, 2, 3 in blue. Alright. Then you plot the point B, 4, 5. X is equal to 4 and Y is equal to 5. You can see clearly. B, 4, 5. Then C 7, x is equal to 7 and y is equal to 2. Okay, you plotted. Now you have to find out the coordinates of the points A dash, B dash, C dash, which are the images of the points A dash, B dash, A, B and C. A dash, B dash, C dash are the images of the points A, B, C, or you can say triangle A dash, B dash, C dash is the image of the triangle ABC when reflected in the origin. So when reflected in the origin, the coordinates x and y both will change in sign. So A becomes A dash minus 2 minus 3, B becomes B dash minus 4 minus 5, and C becomes C dash minus 7 and minus 2. You can see in the third quadrant in blue dots the points I have shown, A dash, B dash and C dash. Now now the second sub question is, write down the coordinates of A double dash, B double dash, C double dash if triangle A double dash, B double dash and C double dash is the image of triangle ABC, not A dash, B dash, C dash. Generally what happens, please be clear, so read the question carefully. Generally what happens, A dash is the image of A and A double dash is the image of A dash, but here A double dash is the image of again A, so don't get confused. So A double dash, B double dash, C double dash is the image of ABC, triangle ABC when reflected in the x-axis. So where is A double dash is the image of A, B double dash is the image of B and C double dash is the image of C, and they are getting reflected in the x-axis. So x will remain the same, y will change. So A double dash will be 2 and 3 becomes minus 3. B double dash will be 4 and 5 will become minus 5. And C double dash will become 7. 7 will remain as it is and 2 will become minus 2. So you are getting A double dash, B double dash and C double dash. I have shown on the figure. Alright, everything I have shown. Now the third part says, mention the special name of the quadrilateral BCC double dash, B double dash. Join BC, I have joined BC, C double dash, B double dash. Alright, clearly you read the question, what is said, and then find its area. So when you join B, C, C double dash, B double dash, you get an isosceles trapezium. Alright, you have to write down isosceles trapezium, not only trapezium. And then area of the trapezium, when you find out, you see, area of the trapezium BCC double dash, B double dash is equal to how much? Half sum of the parallel sides into the distance between the two parallel sides. Now what are the length of the parallel sides? BB dash is how much? Tell me. Is BB dash 10 because phi down and phi up, phi below the x-axis and phi above the x-axis. So 5 plus phi is 10, and C double dash is 2 up and 2 above and 2 below. So 2 plus 2, 4. So C double dash is 4. So 10 and 4 are the lengths of the two parallel sides. So half in bracket 10 plus 4, and the perpendicular distance is 7 minus 4, which is 3. So the area of the trapezium will be area of the trapezium C double dash B double dash is equal to half 10 plus 4 into 3. Are you getting? So area will be half, and sum of the parallel sides. You please write down everything. So half sum of the parallel sides. So one parallel side is 10, the other one is 4, and the distance between them is 3. Alright. This is the area of that isosceles. You will write down full here. You will write down full. Area of the isosceles trapezium. Area of the isosceles trapezium. Area of the isosceles trapezium is equal to half. You write down full. You write down area of the isosceles trapezium is equal to half sum of the parallel sides into the perpendicular distance. The distance between them is equal to half into 10 plus 4, because 10 is one side, 4 is the other side, and then this gives you half into 14 into 3. This gives you 7 into 3, and this gives you 21. This gives you 21. So 21 is the answer. 21 what is square units? 21 square units is the answer. Got it? Understood? What do you say? I hope everything is clear. Square and units. Square units. 21 square units is the answer. Area of the isosceles trapezium is equal to 21 square units. Okay, got it? Understood? Hope the things are clear. Okay then, thank you so much. Thanks.